to Vola TV, the first Vola TV of this new term. We're delighted to be joined today by Mr. Matthew Boyle, our head teacher. Hello, Matthew.
Hi, Barry. Nice to be starting Vola TV again, the new session.
Delighted to be talking to you again today, and with Fiona Palin, our new acting deputy head teacher. Hello, Fiona.
Good afternoon, Barry. This is a first for me in Vola TV, so I'm glad to be here.
Delighted to be joined by you, Fiona. Absolutely delighted. So I want to start off firstly by thanking all of our viewers, by thanking all of the members of our community who are working so hard at the moment to make sure that we're able to keep the school open. We know it's a community effort. We know that families are working really hard with their kids to make sure that as many of the guidelines that we have to follow at the moment are followed as possible. So a huge thank you from us at Vale of Leven Academy for that. We've got some questions from different members of the community, our school community, pupils, staff, and I thought if we run through those today, Matthew and Fiona might be able to help us out with some of those answers. So if we can start off with a question for you, Fiona, about the curriculum and some of the things that are going on at the moment that are maybe a little bit different to usual. Could you tell us a little bit about what's going on in the classrooms at the moment?
Yes, specifically I'm going to mention 3 curricular areas. In PE, for example, the guidelines just now are that we can't be doing indoor PE. So the games hall is out of action and our gym is out of action. So what our young people are doing is they're going out for PE and doing socially distanced activities. I believe there was orienteering going on this week. I looked out the window and I saw a lot of very happy, engaged young people. A reminder in terms of days that young people have PE on their timetable, we have full permission to come in wearing their PE kit and a change of clothes just in case they were to get dirty. So that's the changes for PE. So a spare change of clothes in case they get wet or something like that. Home economics, what's happening there? Unfortunately, just now, the guidelines, we have a restriction just now on cooking. So that is disappointing. It's being reviewed all the time. However, the Health and Food Technology staff have got an excellent team there, and they are looking for other opportunities within the department to keep the motivation up, but closely watching the guidelines there. So there's unfortunately no cooking just now. The other change that I'd like to tell you about, which I think is important, is in the music department. Singing is something that we can't do. I think that we're projecting our voice. There's a chance of spread of the virus when we read all the documentation. So just now, no singing. And I know Mrs. Keane and our team are cleaning between lessons, cleaning equipment. I know she was cleaning the drumsticks and things. And I know that they're spreading out as much in the department as possible, using the different areas in the music department. So these are the 3 main changes that I think pupils and parents probably want to know about.
That's great. Thanks very much, Fiona. So lots of things are more or less what you'd expect to be as normal at the moment, but there's a few little compromises, a few things that we've got to do to make sure everyone's safe. One of the other things that's quite noticeable at the school at the moment is the one-way system and movement around. Is there anything you could tell us about that, Matthew?
Yeah, certainly. The one-way system is one of the visible changes in terms of looking after people's spacing and safety. Now, the reality is that it's not possible to have the kind of spacing that a supermarket manages with 1,000 people in our building, but we do the best we can to try and improve that situation just where we can. And one of the ways that we could control that was to establish a simple one-way system. Unfortunately, we have a very oddly shaped building. Parents who have visited will know there are 3 blocks that stick out of the back of our building, and they have 3 floors in each. If you do a quick thinking exercise, as we in the leadership team for the school did, and along with the facilities people who run the building, we realised there wasn't any way of having one-way flow along each of these corridors without at some point young people coming into contact with each other face to face. That's the key thing. The one-way system is designed not to be perfect, but to stop people bumping into each other face to face, because then they jam in their narrow corridors, and then you've got lots of people, sharing a small airspace. So having people just space gently and moving in the same direction, whether it's convenient or not, is the purpose of it. The idea is that young people go out the back of our school, and the staircases are either up, staircases are down. So they come in from the front, go into a large social area, space themselves out as best they can, and then when they move into classes in the main blocks, they go into those classes and they don't double back on themselves at any point for any reason, because that's the principal thing we're trying to avoid. They just simply go down the stairs at the back when they're finished, out into a secure back area, because our school is sealed at the back, and they then come back indoors near the base of these blocks. So it's a bit inconvenient. There's no doubt on a rainy day it's not the nicest thing to have to go outside and walk back in, but for school safety and for just that little improvement it gives us, it's worth it. It's only a drop of rain. I know in Scotland it can sometimes be more than just a drop of rain, but either way, it's only usually 50, 70 metres or whatever in the rain. We all just need to put up with it for a while. Working well, everyone is working with us on it, and I'm very grateful to young people for their forbearance, their patience with it.
Great, thank you, Matthew, and Fiona again. One of the places that we're happiest to get to once we've followed our one-way system is our school canteen, and again, there's had to be a few changes to that. Could you fill us in on some of the changes that have had to be made to the school canteen?
Barry, I think it's worth emphasising changes that we've put on place this session with respect to lunchtime. So our S1 and S2 pupils, they are now being released 10 minutes early. That is to enable better social distancing and to support particularly our S1 students adapting to new surroundings and mastering the queuing system that's supervised. So they leave earlier. Pupils have the option to have a school lunch. They can bring a packed lunch, or they could leave at lunchtime. So there are these three options. I really recommend, that a packed lunch. We've got spaces outside that young people can eat, and we've got extended tables in the assembly hall for the young people to spread out. Specifically with respect to the canteen, the guidance just now and the legislation that our canteen, our facilities staff are following, we cannot serve hot food, unfortunately, just now. It's just not possible. This is being reviewed constantly, but that is the current situation. So what the canteen are doing, for example, today I had a school lunch, highly nutritious. I went for the grab and go option. It was a turkey roll, and there was an apple, there was water, and there was a really nice muffin. So all of that was sealed and wrapped in the grab and go option, very simple to collect. There's baguettes, there's wraps, plenty fruit, and soft drinks. Water is available. So there's no hot food just now. And we're hoping that there will be changes to this, but at this present moment, that's the option in the canteen. Okay, but the grab and go option is really good.
One that you'd recommend, Fiona?
Yes, I would.
Great.
Thank
you very much. Thank you. And with social distancing, there's lots of things that we're putting in place around that, and we do really appreciate how much help parents have given us. I know we appealed to you to talk to your children about the importance of trying to maintain social distancing where it's possible, and we really appreciate the efforts that you're making as families at home to support what's going on in the school. But we're reflective about that, aren't we, Matthew? And we're making changes as necessary.
Yes, the whole week has been a reflective one. We're obviously learning how to run the school in a really quite altered world. So we found as the week has gone on that we found, for example, a pinch point somewhere in the school where young people find it hard to to flow, and they've been bunching up a bit. So our janitors, in fact, today after this recording, when we leave, they're going to be putting down some distance markings in that spot. So where we have something that we're able to respond to, we're doing so. We've also responded to some worries from people in the community. It's we're very much a part of the community in the school, and young people go out at lunchtime and to and from school, and they have to be part of the community shops and businesses, and generally we're hearing very good things, but a lot of people are concerned that young people, for example, may not have been wearing masks in shops, etc. So we're asking here on Vola TV this week that parents talk to their children and just remind them that it's not just about their own vulnerability, it's about looking after our community. We want to be a kind school, we want to be always looking out for other people's needs, and so we would ask people to space out well when they're walking around the community during school time in particular, and when they go into shops and businesses to perhaps get their lunch there. Please be considerate, wear a mask. I mean, it is actually the rule, given by the government at the moment anyway, so we would expect that. And I know that our youth engagement officer, PC Glover, has asked specifically that we reinforce this message. So we're reflecting, we're changing things as we go, we're always open to ideas. Sometimes difficult for people to understand why we do certain things, but we know our school building here, we know what we're doing, and we're not getting it right every day, but what we are, as you say, doing, Barry, is reflecting very quickly every couple of days, tweaking and adjusting, and we're getting it as right as we can be. And just in conclusion from me, Barry, I'm awful proud of the fact that the school is now running normally, and the classes that we're all walking in and out to look at have got normal lessons going on, and young people are learning. And of course, it's not perfect yet because there are some things not fully in place, but thank you to everyone for the efforts you're making.
Thank you very much, Matthew. Well, that's more or less all we've got time for today. We're doing our very best to make sure that it's business as usual as much as it possibly can be in these challenging times at Vale of Leven Academy. Really, really proud of the effort that our pupils are making. And again, we want to thank you, our community, parents, for all of the help that you're giving us. So thanks very much for joining me today, Fiona and Matthew.